What's going on, guys? I hope that you are well. I hope that you guys' royalty statements the other day, if you're in this game, were great. I do hope that they were. If you're just getting into it, hang tight. Just put the work in it and learn this business. You'll get there. I promise you will. I'm still working to be where I want to be, and I don't think we're never where we want to be, no matter how well we're doing this. But I want to talk about something that I've talked about before. It's very important. You probably are like, he's always talking about this production music conference. I'm like, it's like till you're blue in the face. But I'm telling you, I'm fixing to tell you of an example why that production music conference every year is valuable. Why going to conferences, but really getting involved with people, learning this business, but learning about these companies. A lot of it is researching libraries, knowing what's going on. You may not be with that library, but you're kind of keeping an ear to what they're doing or maybe what's going on. You're always going to kind of hear who bought what library or what's going on here and there. So, but moving back to my point here is, I talked about in the video that if you go to these conferences, one, have your business card. It's so important. Two, do not go to these conferences and not have music on the side that is ready to go, that you've never sent to anyone else. Let me make that clear. This is new music that you're going to exclusively sign with somebody from the conference. And if you don't, you'll have somebody else you can submit it to. But because the people are there, and I'm telling you they're there, I've signed contracts in these conferences. It's been very productive. Now, this year's production music conference was a little weird. It was half capacity. I mean, kind of got there, and I was kind of feeling like I was in some support group there for a minute. But I got a lot of good time, with a couple of publishers I work with, and good face time. We sat and talked quite a bit at great length for the day. And but there were some big libraries there, and there were some music supervisors there. There were people from the industry there. And these guys were doing round tables. When I say round tables, there would be like tables where a group of people could sit at the table with these individuals and ask them questions and talk about the industry, talk about their company. Maybe say, hey, I've got some music I, would love to send you sometime, Some will take it, some won't. Some will say, send me an email, give them your business card. It's one of these cases that on the third note is, do not ever tell somebody you're going to send them music and not send them music. Always do what you say you're going to do. That's what anything you do in life. Always do what you say you're going to do. Do it. Especially in the music industry, because you don't know. You can assume, and I'm not going to lie, when I emailed this guy, I was like, he's not going to listen to my music. He's not going to take this music. First of all, it was a huge library. They don't take music, unsolicited music. In other words, you can't email them. They work with labels only. And, companies like APM, stuff like that. It's a company like that. Big library. And, but I sat down at the table because really there was no other libraries there at the conference that I was looking to send anything to. I was like, it's kind of quiet. That's okay, because that music's going somewhere no matter what. That's the cool thing about it. As I've got 3 libraries right now I'm working hard with, that one of those 3 would get it, or I'd split it up between the 2. That's if I don't submit it to another library. So I sat down at the table, and I guess there were about 6 or 7 people there at the table with me, and I kind of sat down and kind of halfway through this round table, which is fine. They're just talking anyway. And we were just kind of small talking. Subject came up about, libraries. I think it was asked to me like libraries I'm with or something about, and it was Jingle Punks. And he was like, I guess Olay still, he asked me, does Olay still? I said, yeah, they're Anthem Music now, as you know, they rebranded, but yeah, they still have ownership because, I get checks from them from time to time. It's from Anthem Music, which was Olay. And I said, listen, I've got 30 tracks ready to go. They're all me, 100%. I'd love to send a link to a playlist to you or however you'd like it, if that's okay. Do you mind? He's like, here's my email. Send me a link. I'd love to hear it. I think his mind kind of at that point was on getting lunch. There was food all day at this conference. I will say they kind of made up for the loss with, if you went hungry that day, something's wrong with you, because there was a lot of food for 2 days there. And you didn't pay a dime for lunch or drinks or anything. You were taken care of very well. I had plenty of coffee and tea, I can tell you. But anyway, this year was probably worth the price of admission for the conference anyway when I went. But as soon as I got up from that table, I sent him an email. I sent him an email and I sent him a link to my SoundCloud playlist. It was all 30 tracks. Now, mind you, make sure, I say it again, do not send them tracks you sent to somebody else. Don't send like, this is a rough draft demo. No, these tracks need to be completed, packaged, ready to go. You want everything done. Don't send these guys anything that's not done, ready to go. Now, you'll package it like, some alt mixes like the full narrative, maybe a no perk, and some of your bumper and stinger, some of the standard stuff. But they may tell you, I want it in AIF files. They may say, I want wave, 48K 24-bit or 44 16-bit. The resolution of your wave file. Just however they say that. It's okay. Do a little small work. You've already done the bulk of it to get these guys what you need. But this was a big library. So I sent him an email. And my email was simple as this. This is simple and to the point. This is an email. Simple. It said, John, it was great seeing you at the PMC. I really enjoyed our talk at the round table. Mind you, I reminded him of our connection at the conference. It's very important because that can get you in a door better than anything if you keep it professional. I said, I really appreciate your time. I sent an email. I sent you an email with a link. This was him. This was my second email following up. My apologies. I sent an email link to 30 tracks ready to go. I just wanted to check in to see if you'd gotten the email and the link. Thank you so much again for your time and consideration. Respectfully, Chris Williams. The verse email was similar. I mean, it was, as soon as I got up from the table, I sent him an email to the link. It said, John, it was great meeting you today at the PMC roundtable. I reminded him, I really appreciate your time. Below is a link to a SoundCloud playlist of 30 cues I mentioned. I am 100% the composer of these, and I own them 100%. The link to it, I said, thank you again for your time, consideration, respectfully, Chris Williams. I put my phone number, my web page, and he has my email. Put your information in these emails, everything that you can give them that's pertinent to that. But that quick of an email is all you need to do. I sent the link. Now, when I sent him the link at Verse, about 2 weeks after I got home, went by, I sent the second email that I just read as a follow-up, just respectfully. And he replied, I've had some family stuff going on, but I look forward to listening to him very soon here. And I was like, thank you so much. I just wanted to make sure you got him. So a few weeks more, goes by, and let's see if I can get the email that he sent me here. I'm sorry. So he sends an email on the 13th of November here. It's been a few weeks since I emailed him. Now, mind you, I was like, this guy's not going to listen to him. I don't think he's going to take it. Because this company takes from labels and they don't take unsolicited music. But there's a benefit. You're at the conference. You're in their base. You don't know what they're going to do. So he goes, hey, Chris, it was nice meeting you as well. Your cues sound great. I think these are good for underscore, reality, and crime drama. He says, I will get with the team about getting these on upcoming albums. Thanks so much. And voila. So it's in their hands. Now, he doesn't have my deliverables. He doesn't have the files of all the finals. Once it gets to that point, he will. It's probably, sometimes I feel like it's holding my music hostage, but it's okay. The verse of the year, I assume, because a lot of these big companies, they don't do anything from now to verse of the year. They take time off and they're MIA. But that doesn't mean you don't need to be doing music. Do music. Do it. It's the best time right now to get as much music as you can because the first of the year, the gates open, and their feet are on the ground running. Music is coming out in demand full strong come January 1. They're rocking and rolling. That's a hot time of the year. It's getting fresh start on everything. I get one of the biggest boost of placement starts out of first quarter of the year out the gate. There's a lot of stuff shooting in that first quarter. It really is. It's hot. So, guys, I'm telling you, the value of that, you need to think about that. If you're getting into the music licensing business, this is a part of learning that business and understanding some things that you got to be consistent about. You got to keep, if you're going to get a good relationship with the library, you got to bring the heat. You got to keep bringing the music so they know you're relevant. They know you. They're going to be more inclined to bring your music in and get it all approved. But they might be more inclined, one, they're going to get you briefs if there's opportunities. They know your strengths for 2. And 3, if something comes along that know where your strengths are. They're liable to email you about a side project or something done that, you know, or more inclined to say, let's get some of Chris Williams' tracks and let's push them to these guys. I think he's doing some great tension, dark tension underscore. One of the publishers I work with now, I've been working with him probably a year or less now. I've got about 90 tracks in his library, and I'm really going to load him up. A lot of placements came through on a royalty statement I was talking about in my last video with he said they're behind on that because there's a lot more placements and stuff you'll see on the next statement. But he had trouble. They were trying to get all these. He had a ton of tracks they're trying to get registered, and a lot of registration stuff is back up from COVID and all that jazz. That's why we had a 5th distribution. Usually it's only 4 quarters. They pulled in second quarter of 2021 this year instead of doing it next year. It's weird how they did that. I don't know why they did that, but that's okay. But it'll come around. But a lot of History Network, History Channel stuff with there's a show called America's Book of Secrets, and a ton of that, and a lot of these other shows. He said there was other stuff, but they're getting the placements, and I'm getting them the volume. And, you know, when you bring it to the table, they'll bring the heat. So you gotta, don't just wait on briefs and do that stuff. Don't do it. You got to be proactive, and that's where a lot of these guys are really killing it in this business. They are being proactive more than I am. Some of these guys just sit around and do 3 or 4 cues a day. It's mind-boggling. God, I do good to get through 1 a day. And I got to step up to the plate for the rest of the year here. I'm going to have to double up some. But anyway, I want to get on and touch base with that and kind of just, I hadn't talked about that email, but it was very positive. And guys, this is the value of going to these conferences, whether it be a Taxi Road Rally, which is, you know, if you pay $300 a year for Taxi, you get the tickets for the Road Rally. If you don't submit music to Taxi at all and you want to learn about this business, there's so much tools in Taxi to learn from. You know, I don't promote pay for play, but you can learn. I told you, go sit and watch the Taxi TV, Michael Lasclow's YouTube channel. He's on there every week, several times a week, and he's talking. You'll learn a lot. You can ask him questions. He'll answer them. He's the nicest guy. They've been around for 25, 26 years or more. And I've caught on to some of the guys they've got screening for them, I know, and they're big time. They're really good composers. And some of them play for some pretty big bands. And on the side, he pays them to screen music. Pretty good money, I might add, too. So that's the only company I would ever say, if you're going to do a pay-for-play, to try to get connections, is Taxi. So, but anyway, be it that it may, that conference, that $300 was 2 tickets for 2 people. It's well worth the price of admission because the average cost to go is $150, $200 or more to go to some of these conferences. Probably more than that. I think it was about $300 just for me for the production music conference. But, you know, you got a hotel on top of that. But it's still worth to go and learn a lot about this and see, you know, what it is that you want to do, you know. But there's nothing like going to libraries direct and submitting your music and building a good relationship. Finding a good home to work with. That's the toughest part. I've said it before. You got to find your home, who people are going to get you a lot of placements that you can really get a lot of music to and do it. So anyway, I'm off here. I don't want to run too much time here, but I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys have a good holiday coming up this week. And we'll see you on the next one. Be cool. Thanks. Bye.